One, and there he's off.
Nobody skied on this track really the last 10 minutes. He's first man out there. At least the middle of the pack will have a 10-second advantage on Fourcade, I think.
Yeah, the first 10, it won't make a massive difference. But certainly once you get into that group from a minute onwards, they're very tightly packed. Look at the crowds here. This is largely due to the fact that, not solely, but largely due to the fact that Germany did so well in the relays and, of course, getting podium finishes as well.
Oh, and today with Pfeiffer, with Shem, 4th and 5th, a real chance for them to certainly move forward, maybe to win.
Now, what are the tactics going to be? Well, Fourcade try and extend that 18 seconds. Once he gets it up to 23, 24, he's essentially got a free shot.
He has, and maybe that's his strategy. I thought he looked a little tired there initially. Let's compare how Eberhard is closing the gap or not. He's not.
A lot of upper body movement from Eberhard. I think he's a tired man after all that Christmas training. 20.5. He's dropped 2 seconds already. What about Svensson? Started 39.7 behind.
Now, most days, Patrick, the skis glide so well. Today it's without a doubt slower, and psychologically they'll all be thinking, is it me? Or is it the skis? Is it the conditions? Initially, till they get into the races.
Yeah, but the master technicians know how to make them feel pretty quick in this. I tell you what, if I put a pair of their skis on compared to mine, I think they were like lightning. The difference is unbelievable.
Wow, a huge difference. I was lent a pair from the top German girl in Siberia one time, and I missed 3 targets in the individual. I had the 16th fastest ski time. What a difference great skis make.
Yeah, and again, that comes down to money. It obviously comes down to being able to attract the best technicians. Can you do a degree? Can you do a master's in ski technician?
There are certainly many courses you can go on, but I think it's if your name is great and winning, they give you the best equipment. Simple as that.
Yeah, it's not just the waxing, it's the skis, it's the base preparation.
Hey, I'm just thinking, Patrick, when we're looking at this mass of people from position 6 all the way to 45, never have we seen so many in that 1 minute gap. It's only 1 minute, so from 6th to 45th. So really, this field is going to change massively.
Yeah, and the first shoot is crucial. Having a look at the pursuits this year, Mike, no one has won a pursuit without hitting the last 5 targets. And that seems to be a theme this year. If you look at all the individual races in the men's, I know Fourcade has won most of them, but 11 of the 12 races have been won with 5 out of 5 on the final shoot. There's only one where it's gone wide. You can probably tell me. It was a sprint. Nova Miesto, actually, I think he might have deserted for cross-country on that occasion. But that's the only race where the last 5 haven't gone down.
But that's interesting. Talking about those stats, the one name that springs to mind who can control the last shoot is the man at the front of the field. Foucault.
Yeah, I know a few of our viewers are getting a little fed up with seeing him succeed, but I think we've just got to enjoy his success. Realise that we're watching history in the making. He's about to equal, if he wins today, he equals his personal best for the number of wins in a season, and we are only just, well, not even halfway through if you include the World Championship races.
Yeah, he's brilliant. But you know what? He's not skiing faster than Ole Einar was when Ole Einar was at his best. Ole Einar would break fields by 45 seconds. It's just that his shooting statistics are brilliant. 94 prone, 90 stand. Bjorn Dahlen was 85, 82 when he was skiing at his best. So it's all about his shooting control.
Now, Foucault's shooting in the pursuits this year, well, he missed a bagful in Östersund, and that's why he dropped down a third. But since then, he has only missed 2, and both of those shots have been in the second prone. We've got a follow. Which one of the Germans is that? Is that Pfeiffer and Schemp getting tied up?
I can't believe that. This is their base. This is where they train so often in the summer.
Well, that is Schemp going into the back of Pfeiffer. Schemp wasn't paying attention.
One broken ski pole at least. I saw that happen.
And that's worth 10, 15 seconds. Crisp, clean targets for Martin Fourcade. Everything comfortably inside the prone ring, and no problem. He's away, so gets through the first shoot unscathed. I think tactics will be ski steady, make sure of the first 10 targets, and then I think he'll be confident that no one can catch him, especially if they do what Eberhard has done with their first shot.
Pfeiffer and Schemp have lost so much time. They were 55 behind, and now they're 107 and 109 behind.
Eberhard, disaster.
Sadly, almost predictable. He doesn't like this type of racing.
Yeah, all his success comes in the sprint. Svensson. Maybe he had snow in his sights, Mike. Possible.
Do you know, he probably did. He's bound to have had snow falling in the foresights.
So Svensson keeps the chase up, but he hasn't managed to close down anything. In fact, he's losing time. He was 39.7 behind at the start. Landertinger, can he improve the Austrian shooting rate? Yes, he can. 5 from him. Schemp gets 5 despite that fall. Pfeiffer does likewise, but still over a minute behind. Bjorn Dahlen missing 2 in the prone. Birkeland, Vega also throwing them wide. Benedikt Doll, the fastest of the Germans on the tracks, has missed 1. And with lots of clear shoots, but still too many mistakes. Bischel, Mike, with 2 misses, I think he's unlikely to equal his PB, which is 16th place.
I have to say, Pfeiffer, Schemp have done very well after that impact. Broken ski pole, both shot well.
So the Olympic champion, the world champion, the World Cup pursuit champion, the World Cup leader, Martin Fourcade, is in front and very much in control here in Ruhpolding. A clean shoot at the first time of asking for Martin Fourcade. He's out of the range in 6:58 and has over 30 seconds on everyone else.
Eberhard, so schnell geht's. Er war Zweiter hier, jetzt geht er als 18. auf. Kamera ist auf Emil
Well, there you see the standings after the first shoot. The key figure the 46.9 that Svensson trails Martin Fourcade. He's now 2 shots behind, and so Fourcade is in a position where he can afford to miss 2, and probably by the final shoot he might be able to miss 3 or 4, which completely takes the pressure off, and then we just have a demonstration. But the race for second is a good one. It's tight still. Baranachev, Bauer, Shapulin in the top 10. Piper still hanging in 1:10, Mike, but there's no doubt that fall cost him. He's lost 19 seconds to Martin Fourcade so far. And despite Fourcade trailblazing, as we would call it, he's still pulling away from everyone else.
Yeah, once again, he almost seems untouchable, but there's still 3 shoots to go. And remember, in the press interview, he said he struggled a little on his very last shot in the sprint competition. He thought it was going to be a miss. He said he was fortunate. It was a half hit. Best mover, Patrick, is, as far as I can see, Kretschmar from the Czech Republic, from 29th to 13th. And a full 10 seconds faster than Fourcade.
We're trying to track down Johannes Tingesbo. He started 37. He's on his comeback after illness. And Tarjei Bo still not back on the squad. Have you heard any more about his illness?
Well, he had a great summer of training. He lost a lot of September, October. He had tried to get back into racing, but I don't know whether it was overtraining syndrome or what. But no, he's still recovering. He still doesn't want. They don't want to include him in these races yet.
There goes Benedict Doll. He's lost a lot of ground to the leaders, and that's from the shooting. This man has yet to put a foot wrong. Good long look over the shoulder. He better try it again at the top of the next hill, because he's not going to see anyone on the flats. He is so far ahead at the moment, and coming in for shoot number 2. Back in the prone position, of course.
On the first lap, you mentioned Johannes Tingesbo. He was the fastest to the shooting range, taking 4 seconds off Fourcade, but he missed 1 target.
Now, I had an email I was reading last night about, we talked quite a lot about the 5th shot and how people tend to miss that more than any other. And I'm afraid I've lost, I think it might have been John, but apologies, I've lost the email, saying, is it like golf, where when you raise your head as you play the stroke, you tend to spread off left and right? Is it the case that when they take the 5th shot, they're trying to break their position and get back on the tracks too early?
Possibly sometimes, but there's more a flinch. There's a subliminal, a subconscious reaction, a nervous flinch through the rifle that tends to throw the last shot.
Yeah. The round is only in the barrel for 0.001 of a second. It's not what you do after you've pulled the trigger, it's what you do before.
Well, the main man has missed, and he was lucky with that 4th shot.
Well, that opens things up a bit, but he should still get away in first position. We will see exactly what the penalty loop takes. We'll try and get the stopwatch on.
Time on. Well, I don't know, I had some kind of thought today that he might miss 4. Today it's very unusual for this man to miss 4 at 90% pro, 94 pro hit rate, 90 stand. He rarely misses.
Does Svensson know that there is now an opportunity? I suspect not at this stage, but he will have seen Fourcade break to the left.
But look at the wind flags, quite fluttering strong from the left. You can just see them there.
And what is Svensson doing? 2 hits.
Race
well,
on.
Good shooting from Svensson, and out comes Fourcade.
Right, I make that 46 seconds, 46. That's a very slow penalty loop because it's been snowing on there. Nobody's been on it for half an hour.
Yeah, I've got it at 47, so fairly even between the... So 8.5 seconds the margin now, and had that shoot been at the beginning of this lap, then Svensson would have been ahead, but he's losing roughly between 8 and 10 seconds every lap.
But look at that gap, Patrick. Svensson will now know that Fourcade, having done 300 metres on the penalty loop, won't be at his sparkiest, and Svensson should close that down quickly.
Yeah, and a word for the two Russians, Garanichev and Shapulin have closed from 19th to 3rd and 24th to 4th. So they've had a storming day so far, but where some gain, others go backwards. Eberhardt started 2, he's down to 10th already. And we've got Krishmar's actually going up, 29 to 12.
Well, this race now is wide open, absolutely wide open.
But you're still a brave man to back anyone but Fourcade at this stage. He's still got the lead. And don't forget, he only started with an 18-second lead. He's still got 8.5 of those in hand. And, of course, the standing shoot to come. No one is more capable in the stand than Martin Fourcade. Johannes Tingesbo is out of the range, 1:12 behind. And he started 1:49 behind. So he's having an absolute cracker of a race. And he's missed one target already. Welcome back to Ruhpolding. There you see the standings, 2 shoots completed. It's a 12.5-kilometre race. They've done about 6.5 now. The margin at the front has been cut dramatically with Martin Fourcade missing 2 in the prone. Still quite a few athletes going clear, Mike, which is quite impressive in these conditions. I know the wind's not strong and the snow doesn't actually affect the rounds, but the visibility, the work rates are high. Here is the chasing group, and it's being led by number 19, that's Yevgeny Garanichev. Don't forget, in Novo Miesto, he went from 41st all the way up to 11th, so he gained some 30 places.
And strangely, the history of Garanichev, he performed so much better in a race like this, in the pursuit competition, where he's had a bad sprint, and it's nothing but gain in the pursuit.
Yeah, 4 out of 4 pursuits this season. Garanichev has gone up the order.
And normally by at least 20 places. He's outstanding in this race. Shapulin lost his confidence some way in his shooting, missing 3 in the sprint. He's back on form.
Eberhardt pulling back a few places out on the tracks. Fourcade is going to have to work for this one. He's dominated every round of the World Cup so far. He won the sprint here. The only thing he didn't win was the relay, but he did produce the fastest time.
And I said, Svensson, all Svensson has to do is close that 8 seconds very quickly. Trouble with Svensson is Fourcade realised that and put a sprint on. Hasn't closed the door at all.
4 seconds lost already on this lap. You're sort of thinking that Fourcade has got to miss another 2 shots and the Svensson's got to go clean if the Norwegian's going to get his first win since December 2014. Can you believe that someone of his quality has not had a look in? And it's largely due to the fact that Fourcade has dominated that period.
And 3 Russians now in the top 8. They are having a very good day. And it's all about the shooting.
Tim Burke started 12. He's still in 12th, actually, having gone 0-0. So I think he'll be a little disappointed he hasn't made up a few places. Krishmar is still making ground. He's having a tremendous race. 29th up to 10th. So he's gained 19 places already. He's shot clear. Arndt Pfeiffer clear, but has dropped from 4 to 7 solely because of that collision that he had with Simon Schempp.
Very bad start, but I'll tell you what, both Schempp and Piper after that fall have managed their mindset well to hit all the targets so far.
Only one man in the top 8 has not hit all the targets, and it's the man who's leading the race. There he is, Martin Fourcade.
Now with the World Cup moving to Italy next week, Vindish has gone from 43 to 22nd, and he's closed the gap by a huge margin. Almost a minute on Fourcade's time. Now, do you think Fourcade's feeling any pressure that he's made a mistake, he's lost a lot of his 1:06 advantage, or will most likely he'll put that out of his mind?
No, he's not short of confidence. I think he'll be quite happy. You threw a question to me yesterday about the polyglots amongst the biathletes. I've got one for you, Mike. And I've already mentioned the length of time that the round spends in the barrel of the rifle, 0.001 of a second. Do you think that is more or less than the golf ball spends in contact with the club?
It's interesting. I would say it's probably less.
It's a lot more.
Is it really?
Yeah, 0.0004 for 10,000ths of a second. That's all that the golf ball is in contact with the club head. Therefore, everything has to be right on contact. What happens after that doesn't really matter. Here we go. Shoot number 3. 2 misses already for Fourcade.
So far, so good. He's built his position well. He's back into his flow.
90% hit rate in the stand so far. That might drop if he misses again. He gets the last one. And so the door is open again for Svensson, who's got a little bit of snow in that sight of his.
He's fully aware that Martin missed one shot.
Good shooting from Svensson. A little bit nervy, but he stayed strong. Pfeiffer's going to join the chase. Shapulin could be in there as well. It's not a dead race. Malishko goes clear, so suddenly Fourcade is no longer leading. It won't be long that he sticks behind, but now it becomes a tactical race. And if there's one man who's going to play the rest of the field, it will be Martin Fourcade.
And I don't think Svensson will want to lead. Fourcade was very happy to tuck in behind him, but they need to be aware Shapulin is on their case. Malishko is on their case, and we may have 4 athletes at the front.
So at the start of this race, we had a minute separating the top 7. We now have 9.7 seconds separating the top 6. How things can change. Svensson, Fourcade, Shapulin, the leading 3 here in Ruhpolding. 1 shoot to go.
Position is 7. Clean shooting so far for the man from the Czech Republic. Clean shooting so far, my top got 3 penalties together with Svensson out on the course.
It's a busy penalty loop here in Ruhpolding, but those at the front of the field have done well. Have a look at that order. Martin Fourcade, 3 misses, and suddenly finds himself in 2nd place. Things will change out on the track. Dominic Vindish, 43rd, all the way up to 11th, and Mickey Roche having another tremendous day. There's something about the pursuit that the Belgium skier enjoys. 34-12 for him, and again we need to point out Julian Eberhardt. He's dropped 20 places from 2nd to 22nd, and so has Pedrushny of Ukraine has gone from 7th to 27th.
Well, this is quite interesting. I'm amazed that Fourcade wasn't willing to take on the pace. Svensson's kind of a reluctant leader at the front now. It's not the best place to be.
If you were Svensson, are you going to step aside?
Do you know, I think I would be tempted to, because the rest of this pack have pulled back so much time. They were nearly 10 seconds behind as they left the range.
At this sort of pace, you would fancy Fourcade to hit the targets. We've still got to assume, Mike, he could of course be tired, but from what we saw in the sprint event, he's 10 seconds quicker than any of these guys on a 2.5 kilometre lap. So he knows if he hits 5 out of 5, he can still outski the rest of the field.
I think so. I'm surprised maybe Shapulin or Malishko are not going to really put in a turn of pace soon.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Svensson actually is the man that Fourcade will be worried about. It's the man in 4th place, Simon Schemp, who outskied Fourcade on the last lap of the mass start in Oberhof.
Yes, and you feel that if it was a head-to-head, Shapulin could outski Fourcade on the final 200 metres. Maybe Svensson as well.
Yes, it's Shapulin. If he's there with 300-400 to go, he's going to be difficult to beat because he's the quickest, probably the quickest sprinter amongst that group.
Yeah, he's got an amazing sprint, but Fourcade is doing everything right. He's getting himself settled. The ski pace is well within his ability, and he's now building up for this 5 hits in the stand, the final stand.
If all 6 men go clear, we are going to have the finish of the season.
The chances of that are quite slim, I think.
They're very slim, but we might have 4 going head-to-head.
There he goes.
Yeah, and here's the gamesmanship. Fourcade, he's putting in a burst, he's trying to hurt everyone. Who's going to be tempted? Shapulin races his own game and not Martin Fourcade's. Svensson ups the work rate, but you can see that it's hurting. And Simon Schemp, a little mix of both. Well, is this a mistake, or is it Martin Fourcade just showing his dominance?
You know, if anybody else were to do that, we'd say, oh, that's a little bit of a mistake. But when Martin does it, you think, blimey, strong tactic. But it really has, and I thought he might have done that earlier just to keep the others out of the action, put the others under more pressure.
Yeah, Malishko wasn't interested, and Arndt Pfeiffer looks to be struggling a little. He's had a good race since that fall. And was it to get lane number 1? Probably. Was it to upset the other athletes mentally, just to get into their heads? Definitely. We've seen that time and time again.
But look at the intensity. Now Martin, maybe he was at 85, 86% for most of that lap. Now he's up and over 90% of his maximum, and that's a very tough place to live in an endurance event.
So he has earned himself, what, 25 meters.
We've seen him play around with this pace change, and it hasn't always worked for him.
Yeah, the last time the first time we saw it was in Nowe Miesto in the World Championships, and it completely backfired. But he's been using all sorts of pace games. He did it in Oberhof. It didn't work. The sprint at the start of the final lap, that backfired and resulted in finishing in 3rd, not 1st.
Well, but I think what he'll do, he'll just settle on the mat and get his breathing under control. The others may have built position, but look at Svensson, he's really tired. The rest are really tired.
Yeah, I think Shapulin and Schemp are the 2 men who are likely to threaten the Frenchman. Will the first target go down before the others settle? Here we go, 5 out of 5, and it's his 10th victory of the year. This is the one he missed last time round.
He's struggling with that last shot.
Down it goes. Shapulin could be within 5 seconds, but he's missed. Svensson really on his end, and you just have to admire what you've seen. That was an incredible display from Martin Fourcade. Yes, he struggled with the last shot. Svensson puts himself in a position to finish 2nd. He will not be able to chase down Fourcade. He looked exhausted at the end of the penultimate lap.
Now you have to hand it to Fourcade that was the bravest strategy, and he was bold. He didn't hang around for that first shot. He struggled on his last shot, and that is why he's winning so many races. He is unique.
Yeah, he who dares.
He loves challenging himself to almost do the impossible, and he keeps providing the impossible. Kretschmar, 29th to 5th.
Yeah, he's had a tremendous day. He's hit all 20 targets, so has Svensson. Mesetic's gone from 15 to 6, hitting 20 out of 20. Landertinger only 1 miss today for the big Austrian, and he's gone from 9 to 7. Slightly surprised that he hasn't made more ground than that. Rastagurjevs of Latvia, 22nd up into 8th. Dominik Vindisch, he threatened in the last lap. He must have missed on his last shoot, I think, Vindisch. Yes, he did. 103, back to 103 behind, having hit the first 15 targets. Johannes Tingesbo has had a stormer, 37th, all the way up into 16th position. So that's the sort of form we want to see from him. Can't wait to see him in action in Antots. Let's see where Fourcade's shots went. A long delay on the last one.
Very rarely does the end of his barrel move so much. His heartbeat is pumping away in his chest.
Great reflexes, great reflexes.
And there is trainer. Podium, really happy, I guess, with
So 14 seconds, the margin. and it was all due to that little burst of speed. He didn't really want a sprint race because he knew he was beaten in Oberhofer. I think maybe he sensed that if Schempp went clear again, he'd struggle to win.
What a strategy. That was a brave and bold strategy, but he had recovered quite nicely for most of this 2.5 kilometer track. He's on fire. This man will not be caught. Svensson has tried to put in some pace, but he just hasn't got the energy.
Race number 13 of the season, victory number 10. Quite astonishing. He's only got to get 2 more this year, and he will surpass the achievements of Ole Einar Bjorndalen, who got 12 victories. I think it was back in 2005.
Wow. And at the press conference, I was just thinking, Svensson was asked by Per Lange, what do you have to do to beat Fourcade? He said, yeah, Fourcade's really good. He said, I'm not interested in this guy. He said, I just have to look at my own game and improve my own game. And I thought that was interesting. And Svensson put it together so well. One of the few people to hit 20 out of 20.
I'm not sure Svensson's going to have an easy ride to the finish. He's now only 10 seconds ahead of Schemulin, and the chasing pack are moving very, very quickly indeed. Number 9 coming up the hill.
Mesetic is there, Landetinger. Landetinger, that's a good day, but he's only missed 1 target.
40-year-old Mesetic going through. Here's the race leader from 14. He's now 22.5 seconds clear. Schemulin was 28 behind at the start of this lap, and he was 14 behind Svensson. So Schemulin has closed 4.5–5 seconds on Svensson. He's got another 10 to make up. Well, you can see the margin for yourself. He is gaining, no doubt about it, as they go through 11.4. Another 1,100 meters to go. Now, Svensson caught what, 14 seconds at the end of the relay on the Russians. Schemulin will want revenge here.
He will. Schemulin has got the momentum, I think, but he needs to keep the pace on. Piper's still doing well after that early fall.
And Krijsma, Mike, is still sitting in 4th place, having started in 29th. And his margin behind was 1:32. He's now just 34, so he has taken 58 seconds out of Martin Fourcade. That's something that he can sing and shout about tonight.
That's brilliant. And it was only 2 years ago when Kretschmar was down at 60%, 64% in his stand shooting. He's got it all together now. Oh, what a race. Martin Fourcade, 1:06 ahead, then he misses 2, the race is back on. But he's just so strong mentally. Kretschmar is digging deep. He knows that Arndt Pfeiffer is wanting revenge for that fall that he had early on. He lost about 12 seconds in that fall. He'd be in 3rd position right now if he hadn't fallen.
Well, there aren't going to be too many changes further down the order. Schemulin is still getting closer to Svensson, so 2nd place is not assured for Svensson, but as he comes into the stadium, I think he can just relax a little. The snow getting thicker and thicker. The women won't enjoy this because they know that the going is going to be really tough in their race. Svensson now, what's he got? 45, 50 meters, maybe a little bit less. I think he senses the urgency of the situation. Fourcade, on the other hand, knows that victory is his. Happiness is having the home straight to yourself. Once again, 13 races, 10 victories. Of the pursuits this year, Martin Fourcade has now won all but 1.
The sprint is on.
Quite
behind
astonishing.
him for 2nd place. The sprint is on.
Well, here it is, and it's Svensson still in 2nd place. Krijsma is the man challenging Svensson. Svensson needs to be a little bit away. He's got a 20-meter lead, and Krijsma gets the Czech Republic onto the podium. Wow. What a finish from him. What a race. And that's certainly the performance of the day. Remember, he started in 29th. He's finished 3rd. One of the best gains to reach the podium that we've ever seen. Schemulin is 4, Pfeiffer 5, as we watch Landetinger across the line. Just behind him is Bjorntegard. Bjorntegard's had a good race, Mike. I think we're going to see more of him this season. That's a really encouraging performance. Mesetic Rastaguyev's in a sprint finish, and a photo to decide which one of them is in 9th. Windisch 11, having threatened to finish in the top 5. Here comes Eberhardt, who started number 2. It's been a difficult day for him. He finishes with Johannes Tingesbo, who started 1:30 behind him. Simon Foucault in 16th.
Much better day from 46th.
Yeah, that's a great effort from Simon Foucault. 1:05 the margin behind. He might have been quicker than his brother as well.
Only 3 out of these 60 racers today have shot the perfect score.
Well, the margin's relatively small, 1:37 for the top 30, and they started 1:34 behind. Normally, those at the front pull away. Is this Mickey Roche? He was doing so well earlier on. He must have missed a massive target on his final shoot, having been clean up to that stage. He missed 2 on the final shoot, and that pushed him back down to 1:57 behind. He got himself up into 14th at one stage.
That's annoying. 34th to 14th and then back to finish 31st. Bjorn Dahlen hasn't been his best day at all.
Well, I think has he missed 6 targets, Bjorn Dahlen? I think it's something like that. We'll find out in just a moment. 5 targets missed by Uliana Bjorn Dahlen. 2:22 the margin. Savitsky of Kazakhstan, 2 misses as well. And up to the 3rd shoot, Mike, the shooting standard was pretty good.
Yes, Savitsky did so well early on. He was up in that top 20 area, starting from 58. Fillon Maillet, one of the worst shots today. He's missed 6 targets.
Is this Lukas Hofer coming in?
Just ahead of Shvetkov. Shvetkov missing 5. He normally likes this race. He misses 1s or shoots clear normally.
So celebrations, of course, in the French camp with Martin Foucault picking up another 60 points. Svensson of Norway, another podium. That win is now long overdue. Maybe Antolz next week, although I'm not convinced Antolz is a course for him. Starting number 50 and finishing number 44 for David Komatz of Austria. The Austrians' best result today is Landi, who's finished in 6th position. They've got Mesetic in 9 and Eberhardt in 13th. So still 3 of them up in the top 15, which isn't bad when you're thinking in terms of relay teams.
It's certainly the best mover position-wise today. Actually, it's Windisch from 43rd to 11th. And he only missed 1 target.
Yeah, if he'd hit all 5 on that last shoot, he would have been top 5, and that would have been a remarkable gain. Simon Foucault 46 to 16, so anyone who gains 30 places has had a great day out there, and an enjoyable one as well. Bischel goes from 16 down to 48. It's gone the other way for him, but it's a new experience. He won't have experienced anything quite like this in his life. The IBU Cup, as they all say, is so different. Well, the latest downhill from Altenmark. Weather looks fantastic there after all the snowfall yesterday. And of course, the big story from Altenmark is the comeback of Lindsey Vonn, who is coming back from yet another injury. She's had plenty in her career. Hopefully we see the best of Lindsey Vonn today. Well, don't forget we've got another biathlon race coming up as well. The women's biathlon in just over 2 hours' time, and it's going to be as fascinating as the men's. The story from Ruhpolding this morning: Foucault wins again.
No surprise, but a really strong skiing performance by Hofer today.
Schöner Kampf hier um Platz 52. Da sehen Sie, gibt alles die Athleten in der Güterwanne. So, Kamera geht auf die 51. Das ist das haben wir ungefähr 40, 20, 43 Kollegen nicht geschafft.
With number 44, Latvia on his last meters.
Einer von zwei Rechts, die heute gestartet sind. Hat es jetzt auch geschafft und dann haben wir es alle geschafft. Dankeschön, liebe Freunde, war ein fantastischer Wettbewerb, ihr wart super dabei und so wollen wir es auch heute Nachmittag bei den Damen sehen.
What an exciting race, and thank you all so much for being here with us, cheering for the athletes and hopefully having fun here too. The standings at the finish, Marta Furkat, Emil Edisons and Mika Kretschmer on the podium, Anders Julin in 4, Ankai in 5, and Dominic Langetinger in 6th position.
5 Pfeiffer, 7 Schenk, das sind die Deutschen vorne drin, wieder die tollen Ergebnisse, fantastisch. Schaut hin, Johannes Bö weit zurückgefallen. Dann auf 22, Benedikt Doll, 23, Erik Lesser, 31, Michael Rösch, der Belgier, aber den erwähnen wir immer natürlich, weil er für Deutschland auch so viele tolle Rennen gebracht hat. Und 42, Michael Leitner, das ist die deutsche Mannschaft, die inzwischen auf 48.
And stay with us in this winter wonderland. The preparations for the award ceremony is
Biathlon Ruhpolding 2017. Award and Law Ceremony winner of France, Marta from Norway, Emil Hector-Svensson. And third, right from right, from the Czech Republic, behind Kretschmer. Together on the top of the podium. For Russia.